everybody, how are you? It's so lovely to see you. I don't know, how dirty are my glasses? Oh, they're so grubby at the moment. I don't know if the shine's come off them, but I kind of sometimes feel that I'm living life through sort of half, murky, muddy glasses. But anyway, how are you? We have just had, according to my neighbour, 40 mils of rain, and we have not had rain for months here. So yes, we were getting a bit stressed because our tanks are low, and we've got a tank at the top of the hill that's got a lot of water, but we've got a leak in the pipe from the top of the hill to the bottom of the hill, which is requiring some investigation, which we're doing this weekend. But life is always putting situations in front of you which are helping you grow. And I am constantly reminded of that at the moment. As you know, we had Shanti Diva for this last little 2 weeks, from the new moon to the full moon. Shanti Diva's all about just sitting in it, sitting on the mat, not going scurry, let me fill this space with something so I don't have to feel what I'm feeling. It's such a powerful card. I know that when I went through it, Shanti Diva, it really liberated me, and has liberated me and helped me be much more discerning and much more aware of the massiveness of who I am. I'm just not this tiny little self. I'm just this, this enormous, ever-changing self. And so you can't sort of pinpoint that version of me yesterday still exists, because it's already dead and evolving and changing. There'll always be ghosts of that still hovering and living within me, but you're just this ever-expanding vehicle. And I was out having brekkie and a walk with a girlfriend this morning. I've been doing a lot of walks with her. I had another walk yesterday with my other girlfriend, and I've got planned for another walk next week with a girlfriend. It's nothing quite like walking. And last night I walked with a girlfriend. It's just the best thing. Walking and chatting, just the best thing. Anyway, what were we talking about today? We were talking about the importance of holding space for the emptiness, like having what I was calling the empty womb. I'm going to call it empty womb syndrome. Sort of like postmenopausal women who are just holding this empty space right now for something new to be born. Instead of filling it with the same old bloody crap that we've had, can we allow space? Can we not buy into the grind and the grit and the busyness, and need to value ourselves by what we do? And can we instead just hold this empty space? And that's not to say that we just sit in bed drinking cups of tea. Thank you, Big Gawk, for this beautiful mug, by the way. I just love it. I love how the seam, it's like seams on the back of stockings, it's like proper seam. Yeah, I feel like we're just in this beautiful place of, certainly a woman my age, of being invited into holding space. And it was so interesting because my girlfriend was feeling exactly the same. There's definitely this holding of space, and as I was saying, not that you're just sort of sitting, drinking tea and not doing anything and just wittering your life away on the internet. No, not that. Just allowing yourself to be not filling up your time with just stuff to fill up your time, so that you don't have to sit and feel. Just such a lovely space to be. Anyway, got the cards. They're here. And I have to tell you, it's a bit of a shit show. We had some house sitters in, and they were chatting about the cards. or chatting about cards. I had some a tarot deck out, and the woman said to me, "Oh, can I pull one?" And I said, "Yeah, I've actually got my own cards as well." "Oh my God, can I see them?" Anyway, she's a lawyer, and she was going through my book, and she went, "Oh, hang on, it's 25. It's 25, but it says 23 here." Okay. Paradise, number 25, is actually number 23. When I sent this off to my editor, I hadn't put all the numbers in. I just got them to edit all my copy. Let me tell you, I did not know where to go. I couldn't even speak. I said, "Oh, I hope that's just that particular booklet." Turns out it's not. Now, here's the thing. I was sitting in the trenches with that for a good bit of time. It was before I went off skiing. And, you know, I think being slightly dyslexic and slightly challenged in that department, you know, and, you know, getting many report cards with slapdash on, Jennifer could concentrate a bit more and focus a bit more and be less slapdash. You know, the slapdash in me came out. And then I was listening to this podcast, and it was this girl talking about her perfectionist and how it, you know, can just ride roughshod, I think is the expression that the Americans use, over her, just completely smash her down so she doesn't get anything out. And she said, sometimes I have to remember that, you know, these little things that aren't quite right don't take away from the fact that this deck has had real positive impact on people. I have received so many beautiful messages and testimonials from people who have said, "Thank you, I love them, and let me tell you what I love about them." And so even though there is a typo there, and there is a typo on here because there's one missing, and when I reprint, I will get that sorted. So let me tell you, if you've got one of these decks, trust me, it is gold, because you'll never get another one like it again. But it's hard when you kind of go, "Oh shit, I wish that hadn't happened." And for me, I've been studying a bit of the Enneagram. You know, I can go, my first place to go is into shame. And I really had to go, yeah, even though you made that mistake, and there's, you know, history of being berated for, you know, not editing my work well enough, etc., etc. Can I still acknowledge that these were created from an authentic place, from a vulnerable place, and their intention was to help people not feel quite so alone in the world, to have a reference point that they could go, "Oh shit, yeah, I know that place." And can I see their inherent value in people's lives, despite the fact that there's a couple of typos? And I can now. I can really sit with that. And that's what I really took away from that podcast, which is why I love podcasts, which is why I'm considering doing a podcast. Not at the moment, but definitely I'm really thinking about it. It's been on my mind for quite a wee while. So yeah, you know, I'm really glad that I have my perfectionist in check, so that this deck actually could even come out into the world, you know, that people get to experience this deck and to choose, you know, it really touches me, like that my daughter uses it practically every day, and that there are stories that are out there that you know, my grandchildren may pick up this book, or relatives in the future, and go, "Oh my God, you know, there are some stories that have been written down and recorded, and there's a little, it's not like a game, but there's something there." And I think of, you know, how much courage it took to put that out into the world, bearing in mind that I don't come from a long line of gypsy fortune tellers. You know, I'm from a very kind of middle class Scottish conservative family. So for me to bring this out was like quite challenging. And that I did it, and I stuck my little head above the parapet and went, oh, I'm just going to try and do something different. And that it's very different, that it is different to other oracle decks or guidance decks that can often, you know, have a much more kind of etheric and, you know, angelic. And as I say, I love those cards. I've got them, but these are grounded and they're different. And I really, in this moment, I'm really grateful that I had the courage to put them out there. And even with all the, you know, paintings that sometimes I look at and go, but I put them out there, and I love them. I love how they feel in my hands. And I hope those of you who've got a deck really enjoy them too. Anyway, that's enough about wisdom from lived experience. Me having a bit of a moment. Me having a therapy session with you right now, right here. Okay, let's have a look at the next. God, this is going to be a bit long. Oh, I don't want to be on here for ages. Let's have a wee look at the couple of weeks ahead. So this full moon. I know I've been in the chocolate trenches today. I've been having a little bit of dark chocolate with sea salt today. It's mostly for my lunch. But I'm in this sort of intuitive eating place at the moment, and I'm noticing I'm so much more in touch with my body through that process. And whilst I'm sometimes catching myself going, oh my God, I'm eating that. I go, well, if I want to have dark chocolate for my lunch, I'm having dark chocolate for my lunch. And 3 scoops of dal, that's what I'm having. You know, we're so bombarded with food pyramids and God knows what else. And I've spent my fair share of doing, you know, healthy eating and recovery eating. And so to be in this place where I just kind of go, well, actually, I'll have 2 scoops of dal and some dark chocolate for lunch today. That's what my body needs. Then that's what I'm going to give it. Anyway, you don't want to hear this, I'm sure. Anyway, let's go. Let's see what do we need to know about this next couple of weeks? What do we need to know about it? Oh, fuck. Strangler fig. Card of addictions. I'm now wishing I hadn't told you about the dark chocolate, let me tell you. Card of addiction. And what else do I call it? Strangler fig. Where are we? Strangler fig. Addiction and exhaustion. I once wrote, and you might find it on my grid somewhere, that, you know, people that phone up and they're just going over the same thing all the time. I'm so fed up with so-and-so. He never listens to me, or they never listen to me, and I'm just fed up and and like on it goes, and no change and no change and no change. And they're just sort of addicted to complaining and whining. And I wrote this thing that said, if you're noticing that you're complaining and whining a lot about things, then invite in braver parts of yourself. Or like if I was whinging, I came on and got, oh my God, I can't believe I've been eating chocolate again and it's really awful and I shouldn't and I can't and I shouldn't. That's not how I was. But if I was, I would invite more disciplined parts of myself to come in and be more disciplined with me. Invite in braver parts of you that speak up and say, you know what, I don't like the way you're treating me, and then get rid of that person that's draining your energy so you're not draining other people's energy. Where are you addicted to drama and therefore constantly trying to create it in your life? Where are you addicted to codependency, therefore continually trying to get into enmeshed codependent relationships with other people? Where are you continuing to, try and control other people and their lives instead of just letting people do what they need to do and you just dealing with how you feel about it? All those things can be addictions, and they're not bad. They're all just coping mechanisms of how we've, managed to cope in a world that is just not functioning in a way that is bringing out our most loving and supportive and gorgeous selves. But I'm also feeling, can we love those addictions into wellness? Okay. I often personally have found that when we kind of push addictions away and we ignore them, pretend that they're not there, they will just get louder. Can you invite in your addiction to, whatever? And often I will feel that even if I have cleared up most of an addiction, there will still be like an echo of it, a ghost, a little hungry ghost that will still be like chomping away in the background, that's looking for a little nibble. And it's just catching that and going, yeah, just watch that, just red flag it and watch it. It's just like when I go to the dentist and they go, oh yeah, there's something there, we're just going to flag it and watch it. That's what to do. Just flag it and watch it, because awareness means if you're aware of it, aware of a pattern, you're healing it. When you're completely unaware of it, you're reinforcing it. All right, that's what we need to know. How can we best support ourselves as we work with the Strangler fig? Oh, I can feel this is going to be tricky. I feel it's going to be tricky, but Aries is quite a fiery, we're in a fiery month. Let me just read my moon. Okay. We tend to be more energetic, self-centered, and impatient. Okay. Initiating action, assertiveness, adventurous, forceful, me, myself, I. Okay. Pioneering, bold, independent, direct, decisive, takes the initiative, courageous. Okay. Negative traits: selfish, impulsive, aggressive, impatient, wants everything now, foolhardy. I feel like even, we as a society, how would the addiction to wanting everything now, that we've lost that ability to be really patient and cultivate. For me, it's never in the end place. It's in the middle of working through it. I love reading with these, and I love the process of painting there. I've loved every part of it, from conception, thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna create it? Writing about it, and in between these addictive patterns of, oh, I don't think I can do this, and oh my God, what am I doing? And the parts of me that maybe could have suffocated this so it never came out, weren't allowed to exist because I'd done enough work on myself to power through all the voices. That's the only difference between people that don't get anything out in the world, in terms of whatever creation it is that you're trying to get out in the world, and those who do. It's just that they can deal with the voices and the rejection and the abandonment and all the stuff that comes up, in the process. But I'm reading a book at the moment, it's interesting, and the woman wrote, there was a 40-year gap between her books. So, I hope this is making sense to everybody, because I'm just waffling away. I don't know what's coming through today, but I'm just allowing it to come through. All right. What was the card? How can we support ourselves? Oh, Green's Pool. Swimming in cold water. That was really cold water. So honestly, swimming in cold, no cold water therapy. A lot of people do it. I have never done it. I've got slightly twitchy kidneys. Though I've been invited by a girlfriend to maybe go for a plunge tomorrow, which I might do actually. They go swimming and plunging and put little life raft on them, not life raft, noodles thing around them, and they run in the water. But cold water therapy is like brilliant for that kind of energy, because it's very calming. I don't know how it impacts, but I believe it's just has this huge ability to powerhouse these really great feel-good hormones and great immunity and all the rest of it. But this is my card for following your intuition, listening and intuition. And I feel like this is about trusting your inner knowing, trusting those red flags, those inner red flags. When you know that there's something not right. You can't quite articulate it, and that can be sometimes the most frustrating thing. Sometimes when my kids were wee, they'd come and they go, they'd be weeping and sobbing and crying and wailing, and I'd be go, what's wrong? I don't know, something happened, I don't know. And they didn't have the language to express what it was, but they felt something was out and not right, and it was out and it wasn't right, and they knew it. And I slightly feel this month we're going to have that. We may not know exactly what it is that's not right or is out of sorts or whatever. But can we still trust ourselves? Okay, can we just trust ourselves and go, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm just trusting that this is the right place to be right now. That this is what I'm meant to be doing right now, that this is what I'm meant to be eating right now, that this is what I'm meant to be saying right now, that this is what I'm meant to be writing right now. All the things that you are actively doing in your day-to-day life. Can we just trust that that is what you're meant to be doing? I'm going to pick another card because I want to pick 3. So we've got Strangler, Fig. So addictions and exhaustion, how they can deplete us. Where are we losing energy? Okay, where are we losing energy in overthinking relationships which are just draining us? A hobby that's now just over consuming us, business, a job or whatever, friendship, whatever. Where are we losing our energy, and can we just get in there and either be aware that we're in it, but we're looking for just waiting for the right moment. I always remember doing this course with, I can't remember what her name was again. She was a girl from in the Matrix. What's her name again? I can't remember. Anyway, she had this course, and there was somebody that was, in a really dysfunctional relationship, but they were still in it. And she said, trust that when it's the right time to leave, you will leave. Just trust you will leave. And I always remember when we were living in Findhorn, and I was like, I slightly feel like I'm ready to move on from here. I don't know why. And I was sort of exploring, looking, and then sort of Australia was sort of calling. And I remember speaking to somebody, who was it? Oh, it was my friend Lydia. And she said to me, trust me, when Findhorn has had enough, you will be booted out of there faster than you can say, I'm done. And I was. I've still got a place there, but we lived there for 18 months full time. And then it was just like, no, you need to get out into the world and be somewhere else. So wherever you are, whether you're in a relationship, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a work situation, whatever. And there's something that's just like not quite right. Just know that when it's the right time, it's the right time. Okay? Just like Green's Pool, we were like faffing about, not really sure. We just knew where we were going next when we were traveling around the world. We just were like, right, okay, that's the next place. We had no idea by the time when we arrived in Western Australia that we were going to end up in Byron Bay. That was not on the cards. We were going to Brisbane. That was like on our kind of like flight, because you had to book different sections of your around the world trip, and Brisbane was on the, had no intention of coming to Byron. Didn't even know about Byron Bay. Met this British couple who told us about it, and bugger me, when was that? That was 2003, November, December 2003. 20 years later, I am here, living here, and I've been here for the last 16 years. So 4 years later, I came back to live here. This was my home that was calling me. This was my home that was calling me. Okay. So pay attention, but also don't the hustle and the jiggle and just trust when it's time. It's going to be. All right, one more. 26 minutes. It's because I'm only showing up every 2 weeks at the moment. I kind of feel like I'm going to give you your money's worth. Not that anybody's paying for these readings, but you know what I mean. All right, last card. So what we're dealing with Strangler Fig, how can we kind of support ourselves, and can we just have a little jiggle wiggle card, like a little fun card. So where can we yeah, just give me a little tickle wiggle card. I don't even know where that's coming from. What is a tickle wiggle card? Where is that expression even coming from? Atlas Mountains. Card of co-creation. Card of co-creation. A tickle wiggle card. It's also where I got pregnant with Finley. Not thinking of getting pregnant. It's really funny because I'm having a bit of a minute here because I'm going. So those of you who know the story, okay, this is the Atlas Mountains, and we went up into the Atlas Mountains to this. Do I actually give you the name of it? Let me just hang on a second. Oh yeah, here we go. The Casbah-Du Tubak. It's a renovated monastery. Okay, so it was a dry space, like it was no alcohol. And I don't know how I had it. Had I taken it off the plane? But I do remember, like, I had some vodka, a little bottle of vodka. As I say, I don't even know where it came from, but I'm just having this flashback to being there and having some fresh orange juice that I picked up because they had like they must have, maybe it was at breakfast. No, it can't be at breakfast. I can't be breakfast. But I remember having some fresh orange juice in the room and pouring some vodka in. And Simon goes, I don't know if Simon said, this is dry. But I do remember having alcohol there. And it was this like really serious sort of monastery. And I was like a naughty schoolgirl. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you know, when you were at school, I was at school, I mean, I was always outside the bloody maths room because I was always chatting. But you know, when you're a bit cheeky monkeyish, and that's why I'm using that really funny, silly language. But when you're being a little bit silly and a little bit naughty, Callie and I love using that word. Mummy, you're so naughty. And I go, Callie, you're being so naughty. Stop it. You know when you're just being naughty and you get the giggles and you're being silly. It's so funny because my niece is over in Greece, and she had put a picture of them. They're all hanging upside down on these sort of aerial yoga things. And I said, oh my God. She said, oh God, I felt so sick. And honestly, we kept getting the giggles. That's kind of the energy that I'm kind of picking up here, is like, don't take life so seriously. Okay, this is quite a big card, okay? And all of that I've just talked about, you know, it's quite big. But don't forget to like have childish nonsense going on in the background of your life. You know, don't take everything so seriously. Have a good laugh. Like my girlfriend and I today, when we were sitting down having our breakfast and talking about all the serious things in life, jeez, we'd suddenly belt out this laughing and laughing and laughing. And you see people looking, going, what the hell's going on over there? We would just be howling with laughter, because laughter is such a powerful healer. And it's such a powerful kind of like shifter of energy. So I feel the Atlas Mountains is saying, don't forget to be a bit of a cheeky monkey, okay? Have a bit, just be a little bit mischievous. Not in a no, you know, like you would hear about, you know, celebrities on film sets always being a bit naughty. I can't remember who is it that's always a bit naughty. It wasn't Jim Carrey, is it George Clooney? Oh, I tell you who it used to be. It used to be Bobby Ewing. What was his name again? Oh, it's coming to me. He was Bobby Ewing. Who's the actor? Anyway, him. And he was apparently always mucking about on set. Always mucking about on set. Always having a laugh. And, you know, anybody who's watched the Fleabag series, you know there was hijinks the whole way. You know that there would have been a lot of laughter. And in fact, I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge talks about when she was on stage and every night they would be mucking about. They would be mucking about. And I remember when I was in this play in a bit, Simon, and on the last night they wrote down, I was this nurse and I had this little white outfit on. And Simon was in the audience. He'd flown up for the last night, and it was our kind of like second meeting. And I arrived on stage and I look at this piece of paper, and the young lads who were playing other parts and all the rest of it had written down, "Get your kit off, Nurse Kelly." And I was like, anyway, and so Dr. was just so, it's like that. Don't forget, like in everywhere that I have worked, I have had people that I've mucked about with, you know, real people that you can have a real good laugh with. I just think life needs people that can be a bit naughty and mischievous and muck about, not in like big dramatic and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I feel like this is muck about energy. Me with my little bottle of muck, my orange juice in the monastery. Like, I've just remembered that. This is my card for co-creation, and you know, I was pregnant there and all the rest of it. It was all quite sort of serious, but I was mucking about. I'm always mucking about. Always mucking with Simon. Simon can be a bit silly too, but I've definitely inherited, I don't know, there's a lot of silliness. There can be a lot of mucking about my side of the family. Anyway, there we have it. We're going to be working through quite a bit of our kind of addictive patterns. Trust your inner knowing. Okay, just trust it. Just trust it. You don't always have to act on things there and then in the moment. You can wait for the divine right timing. But flag something, and you know, if you're not sure how to disengage or get out of it, just ask for divine intervention. That's what I'm doing. There's something that's coming up for me right now, and I'm going to be asking for divine intervention because I'm not entirely sure how to deal with it. It's tricky. It's complex and complicated, and I need divine intervention. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And don't forget to muck about and have a bit of a laugh. Anyway, so lovely to see you. Take good care. Happy full moon. And if you want to buy a day, they are on sale because I'm having a bit of a moment, and I do want to re-edit and get them reprinted. So I have got a bit of a sale. So I think they're almost like half price at the moment. So get on. Buy some for people for your Christmas. Put them in your cafes, in your restaurants, you know, in your library. Put them in spaces that people gather in, and enjoy. And I'll see you all in a couple of weeks. So much love, as always. Bye.